evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are 7 minutes away from broadcast time. 7 minutes away from broadcast. Thank you for joining us. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is May, and it is lacrosse. Tomorrow starts the NCAA Division I Men's Lacrosse Championships. Across the country, they're playing playoffs and conference and state championships. And here in Arizona, we've already crowned our champion, and tonight we will see the best in the state go head-to-head in the Arizona Lacrosse League's All-Star Showcase game. Thank you for joining us here this evening. We're live at Notre Dame Prep. I'm Scott Lightman, joined by Pinnacle head coach Max Fleischman for tonight's Arizona Lacrosse League Showcase game. Max, welcome, and why don't you tell us a little bit about tonight? We have the Javelinas and the Rattlesnakes that stay out of the forest, but we're good on the lacrosse field. Why don't you take us through and share a little bit about some of the players to watch for tonight?
Yeah, so, this being an all-star game, kind of everybody's a player to watch, but a couple guys we really wanted to highlight. For the Javelinas, Ethan Swenson, a two-way midfielder, senior, very, very big part of that Brophy championship squad. We've got Andrew Rowe, number 3. He is a midfielder for Notre Dame, so he's on his home turf tonight. Really, really great redodger. I expect him to score a couple goals tonight. And then we've got Nick Johnson, first-team All-State defenseman at Pinnacle, who had 7 goals and 42 ground balls this season. I'm looking for him to pick the ball up and make a play in transition.
So the team in blue is the Javelinas that Coach Fleischman just spoke about. The team in yellow is the Rattlesnakes. And before they face off, who on the Rattlesnakes should we be looking for?
Number 2, attackman Bowden Crane out of Foothills down in Tucson. Very shifty righty player. Was second in the league in goals. Number 10, Grady Stokes for Perry. Led the league in both points and assists this season, so I expect him to be generating quite a bit of offense. And then Jackson Boop, who is an absolutely diabolical in transition, and I expect to see him push some offense tonight.
So Boop is number 25. You see him on the near side on the wing for the face-off. Here we go. We're underway. Number 6, Drew Klingman from Oro Valley, and number 6 in yellow is Bennett Matzler from Corona. Still battling for the face-off here. Let's see who gets the first possession. And it looks like it's going to be yellow for the Rattlesnakes. That's number 26, Josh Busey, a sophomore from Brophy.
I think I have these guys' numbers memorized pretty well. We're on their regular teams, but they're wearing all-star numbers tonight, so it might take me a moment to figure out who's wearing what.
I'm with you on that. A lot of them are still wearing the same numbers from the regular season, but hopefully the mannerisms we can pick up. You from scouting them all year long. This is number 19, Dylan Finder from Perry, who was the ALL runner-up this year. And on the starting attack line, that's number 2, Bowden Crane, who Max just mentioned a moment ago.
Looks like these guys are taking their time getting set up, running a little two-man game here.
Right here, Finder again from Perry, left-handed shot, and a goal.
Very nice. Very nice goal. Just takes this guy right over the top, right where he's going to have those high shooting percentages. Impressive lefty goal.
So Dylan Finder, a sophomore out of Perry. Perry had quite a nice year this year, a reversal of fortune from last year, an influx of talent down there. And there you see just a lefty sweep through the middle and put it past Diggy Balderrama, who is the first-team All-State goalie from Desert Vista, a fellow sophomore. Those two have played over the years on club teams together, and I'm sure there's a little bit of chirping going on after that one.
Oh, for sure.
Second face-off picked up by number 7, Jake Traylor, right here from Notre Dame, and he passes it up to Matthew Lightman, over to Stokes, and down to Clancy Brocious. Excuse me, that's Bowden Crane.
Very nice save there.
And this is Nick Johnson with that scoop, and just unfortunately got it checked away, so it will remain Rattlesnakes ball. The interesting thing, Max, with no real set offense is to see how these guys naturally work against each other or with each other. Beautiful play there. Grady Stokes, you mentioned him in the pregame with the ALL lead and assists, and there he picked up another one, passing across the crease to Josh Busey for the goal.
I think in a game like this where we don't really have a lot of set offensive plays, we're going to see guys who are able to dodge and draw a slide are going to be able to create a lot of offense.
And Stokes, he is a first-team All-State, as we mentioned, the state's leading point scorer. He is committed to Young Harris College in Georgia, a Division II college. And Grady has been around for a while, showing his shifty moves and fancy passes.
Noah Burdick with the ground ball.
For first opportunity for the Javelinas in blue.
Ethan Swenson making a nice play to slow it down. They've been on defense so far this game, so he elects to slow it down, set something up, as opposed to pushing early transition.
So with the ball is number 13, Connor Story, a big, tall lefty, offensive power.
And he's got a short stick. I'd probably be looking for him to generate here.
He didn't see many short sticks during the season, did he, Max?
No, he took advantage of pretty much all those matchups. If I'm him, I'm calling for the ball.
Especially he's got a face-off on him with Bennett Matzler. But here we go. Will Elfline from Chaparral behind the goal. Ambidextrous attackman, guarded by Taub Baldiga. 6'4", sophomore, plays for Brophy. There is Story shooting wide, and it will remain Javelina's ball. So tell me about Connor Story a little bit.
Connor Story, big lefty. It was kind of amazing to see him playing this year because he had a pretty good injury in the fall, and we were all surprised to see him playing, and then on top of that, leading the league in goals. Big lefty, loves to body up, loves to square guys up and back them in, and he loves to shoot. He was definitely in the top, I believe, in the top 3 in the league for shots.
And the Foothills offense definitely ran through Connor Story this year.
Him and Bowden Crane. I think Connor drew so much interest that Bowden ended up, getting a lot of second defensemen, and Bowden scored 58 goals this year. So the two of them, that was definitely a two-headed monster on their offensive side.
I'm sure we'll talk more about Foothills and their success later this year. This time the Rattlesnakes have the ball. This is Harrison Yu, a short stick D midi. Ball checked out of his sticks, and let's see what they call. It will stay with yellow. So Stokes will take the ball from behind the goal with the Rattlesnakes hosting a 2-0 lead. And this is number 8, Will Stone from Cactus Shadows, up to Finder and over to Eric Wolfson. We haven't talked about him yet, from Brophy. Number 22, a second-team All-State junior.
Big righty, powerful shot, loves to back guys up, and likes to shoot through them. Not afraid of contact at all.
Maybe that's from his box background a little bit, that it shows in this that he's not afraid to initiate contact or dodge through folks. Again, using that hammer right shot that he has. Right now it's Javelina's ball, and this is Diggy Balderrama from Desert Vista. Nice little bounce pass over to Story, unintentional or not. Great check there by KJ Davis from Desert Vista, a senior, second-team All-State.
Oh, unfortunate pass. Great play by Ethan Swenson, though.
You talked about his two-way prowess early on, a senior from Brophy. Will be headed to Babson College in Massachusetts come September.
Probably the best two-way midi we have in the state. And not only does he play offense and defense, but he's also great with both his right and left hand.
All right now the Javelinas setting up with the ball, and this is number 12, Garrett Scott, who's a junior midi from Desert Vista. Running into a little bit of traffic, but takes a shot. And Kyle Kelly, the first time we call his name, a junior goalie from Boulder Creek. This summer playing in a fair amount of showcases to see where he lands next. And they push in transition. This is Trailer over to Stokes, over to Crane.
Ooh, Crane's got to let that go a little bit earlier.
Stokes picks up the ball and still has not reached Diggy Balderrama, the goalie. And it looks like Wolfson will pick it up for yellow.
Turn back. Tough to see that line out there.
Yeah, didn't get a clean shot the first time, and so now we'll see the Javelinas with the ball. Noah Burdick. And they'll slow it down here. Andrew Rowe, you talked about Rowe, number 3 in blue, a senior from Notre Dame Prep.
You know, if I was looking, or if I was coaching this blue offense here, I'm probably looking for a guy like Andrew Rowe to dodge, because it's going to be pretty tough to score on Kyle Kelly just dodging. If Kyle Kelly knows where the ball is coming from, it's going to be hard to get it past him. You're going to want to dodge, draw, slide, move the ball, and then you're going to have opportunities. But on that previous play, when we had a dodger just shoot straight up, it's going to be pretty tough to score. And as I say that, Connor Story dodges and scores a goal.
He dodged, but he dodged from one side to the other, and Kelly wasn't sure exactly where it was going. There was a slow flag on the play, but Connor Story comes from X, uses that left hand, puts it home, and we're now at a 2-1 ball game.
Javelinas, number 13, Connor Story.
It looks like the flag is still intact, so it'll be a 60-second penalty against the Rattlesnakes. Javelinas will go man up. Actually, it does not. Looks like we're even on the face-off, Max. Just saw someone in the box. So the flag is waved off, and now it will be Rattlesnakes ball. This is Bennett Matzler from Corona with the shot. Off the pipe. Goalie's best friend. And pick up by number 20, Jack Berman, a sophomore face-off man from Chaparral.
A couple of players of note. We've got both Drew Klingman and who am I missing here? We've got both Drew Klingman and Bennett Matzler from Corona and Oro Valley are the two face-off guys for those two squads, but they both led their respective programs in goals this year. So I expect to see those guys play a little bit of offense as well as taking face-offs.
That was nice to see Drew Klingman. I was going to mention that at some point in the broadcast, and thanks for leading into it. Now, he actually played all three phases. He played defensive midi, offensive midi, and face-off, and did a really nice job. He was the one person on the Oro Valley scouting report that you really had to watch out for because he played all three facets.
Absolutely.
Here's Bowden Crane. We talked about him earlier, and his shiftiness. Dodging from X is something he did a lot this year and got a lot of his goals in that fashion.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like he plays a very box style. He's pretty much all right-handed. I don't even see him put the stick in his left hand all that much, but he's very effective with that right hand, obviously being second in the league in goals.
And here's a takeaway. Here's Andrew Rowe in transition. We talked about him and his athleticism earlier. He still has the ball, goes through. Oh, nice check by number 12, Matthew Lightman. Ball on the ground and still loose. We will have gold ball for the Rattlesnakes with a 2-1 lead here late in the first quarter, 4 minutes and 34 seconds remaining. And a clear attempt. Here we go, number 11. That's Nicholas Hebert from West Valley. First time he touches the ball.
Very nice pass.
Yeah, great clearing pass. And again, another first-timer, this time from Corona. Oh, excuse me, that was Bennett Matzler. They also do have another midi, Cole Bastian, number 9. And this is Busey. To Matzler, just tipped by Diggy. But closest to the ball is Gold, and the Rattlesnakes will keep possession. Grady Stokes with the ball to initiate. This is Patrick Fisher. We haven't called his name yet from Brophy 2. There's your face-off guy, Bennett Matzler, even showing his left hand there. Bennett is headed to North Greenville, a Division II school in South Carolina, for his collegiate lacrosse career. Also a talented long snapper in football, was entertaining some conversations and potentially some offers in college football.
Good decision not to make that shot.
First invert possibility we've seen tonight, Max. You'd mentioned taking advantage of short sticks, and you have talented offensive players out here.
Yeah, I mean, if these teams aren't able to get their D middies on the field, you're definitely going to want to try to find the offensive shorties. Oh, nice play. Good garbage goal right there.
Garbage goals count. And it's 3-1. Rattlesnakes, Grady Stokes there. Opportunistic to pick up the ball right there and put it in the back of the net for a 3-1 lead.
Perry has such a great group of offensive players that they're really, really fantastic at finding those opportunities off of rebounds or off of kind of odd situations there. They score a lot of goals in those scenarios, and like you said, they count.
And Perry made it count this year. They had one of the highest scoring offenses of the year, and you can tell by the number of Perry players that are here tonight, plus one who's not here tonight. But a well-rounded offense that scored a lot of goals. And there, right there, we just talked about number 6, Drew Klingman from Oro Valley, won the faceoff, got down,
and took a shot, and you're not afraid. Sometimes you're afraid to face off guys taking shots, not with Klingman.
No, I mean, if they had, other face-off guys that they really trusted at a high level, then he would probably be playing a lot more offense as well.
Nice defensive play by number 21, Baldiga, to take it away and then initiate the transition to trailer there. Defense to offense. You talked about transition in these types of games, and that was a nice play by Baldiga to give possession to the Rattlesnakes, up 3-1 with 2.5 minutes left here to go in the opening quarter. Eric Wolfson with the ball right now.
Great job.
So we talked about that earlier, his ability to take contact, roll off of it, and then have a powerful right shot. There, he just did that.
I mean, with the defenses not being all that comfortable, or the defensive players not being all that comfortable with each other, you're going to need to get into the second level. These goalies are too good to be taking outside shots. If you can manipulate the slide effectively here and get in close, you're going to have a decent opportunity.
So the ball is definitely weighted a lot on the right side of the field in this first quarter, and it shows with a 4-1 score in favor of the Rattlesnakes. They've just had more possessions, whether it be takeaways like we just saw from Baldiga, or the face-off wins that they've had more success in as well.
Yeah, I feel like the face-off game has been fairly even, but we're seeing the Rattlesnakes come up with the ball a little bit more.
Here we go in transition, number 5, Caleb Casey. Nice save by Kelly on number 4, Laird Miller. So Kyle Kelly, second-team All-State from Boulder Creek, with a couple of nice early saves.
Good pick by Nick Johnson. This is where he's dangerous. Well, struggling with the ground ball. Here we go.
He's not going to be shy about shooting it, is he?
No.
But guess what he has to do now?
Now he's going to run the whole field back.
Nice save by Kyle Kelly, and Rattlesnakes out in transition. They have numbers, but slowing it down. So it's a 4-1 lead here for the Rattlesnakes with the ball.
Looks like the Rattlesnakes are content to just have possession right now and see if we can tire this blue team out.
We have about 1 minute left in the opening quarter here.
Rattlesnakes going into an open set. It looks like Busey is going to the crease now.
Bowden Crane with that right-handed dodge, as you mentioned earlier, over to Stone, and that's wide. So 55 seconds left. Rattlesnakes have the ball and a 4-1 lead. And here we go. They found the short stick matchup that they wanted. Will Stone, but he loses the ball. Pick up by Finder with 40 seconds left. Oh, nice save by Balderrama right on the doorstep. Some nice ball movement there by the Rattlesnakes.
I mean, we don't have, there's not a whole lot of places where these guys go to play. So a lot of these guys have probably played with each other, either on club teams or box teams. Oh, nice finish.
Goal by number 26, Josh Busey. His second tonight in the championship game just last week in Brophy's 19-10 win over Perry. Busey had 5 goals and was the offensive MVP of that game. Here he picks up his second. What does he do well, Max?
Josh Busey, an excellent dodger, a really, really good stick. In that situation, he was able to go down low. He took his teammate Noah Burdick down below GLE. Knowing that Noah is a lefty, he went to his right hand was just able to climb up the hash marks and get a nice finish.
Face-off win here for number 20, Jack Berman from Chaparral. We talked about him earlier, a sophomore. Only his second year doing face-offs, Max, and he emerged into one of the tops in the state, second All-State, after playing JV last year. So quite a story for Berman.
He was definitely a difference maker for that team. Oh, we've got an ice pick attempt by Drew Klingman. Doesn't go through, though.
We have 7 seconds left with the ball at X is number 26, Will Elfline from Chaparral, a junior. Over to Laird Miller, number 4 from Brophy.
Couple of lefties out there.
See if he gets a shot off in time. He did, but not after some great defense by number 17, Jake Steinberg from the Hill. So at the end of one, we are at Rattlesnakes 5 and Javelinas 1 here in the first corner of the Arizona Lacrosse League All-Star Showcase. Thanks for joining us. Welcome back to the 2023 Arizona Lacrosse League All-Star Showcase here at Notre Dame Prep. We'd like to thank our sponsors for helping make this possible and supporting our boys on the lacrosse field. Express Art and Frame, located in the Biltmore Plaza at 32nd Street and Camelback Road in Phoenix. High-quality art and custom framing services to residential and commercial customers. Ganem Jewelers, Arizona's finest jewelry in the luxury space for over 30 years. Ganem Jewelers is conveniently located in North Scottsdale and the Ahwatukee foothills. Astarosa, a differentiated approach to investment management. AV by Design, audio video by Design, your premier dealer for your surround sound, home theater, and home automation needs. And Arizona Hot Sauce Lacrosse, teaching the fundamentals of lacrosse and to promoting the love and spirit of the game to young men in Arizona. Thank you to our sponsors as we begin the second quarter here. Berman with the face-off win and holds off after some tough pressure from Jackson Boop, who Max mentioned earlier and was the ALL Defensive Player of the Year. So Blue holds on possession. Ethan Swenson with the ball for the Javelinas.
Looks like Jackson Boop broke his stick on that play.
You go through a whole season in the All-Star Showcase, you break your stick.
Yep. Jake Steinberg is a tough player to dodge on. Really good athlete, high-level football player.
Definitely, you can see the body and the physical imposingness.
Yeah,
Not a word.
He's all gas, no brakes. He he does not slow down. Oh, nice find by Connor Story there.
A great save by Kelly. Wow, an impressive find by Story. He drew 3 defenders, found someone on the crease, but Kyle Kelly with the save. We're off and running. Harrison Yu, one of the fastest players in Arizona in transition.
Looks like the ball just got stuck in his stick there.
Yep, and this is number 19, Tyler Wiggins from Notre Dame Prep, emerging with the ball. Some of these players may not be as sharp today as they were during the season. And now the Rattlesnakes with the ball. Josh Busey from Brophy with possession. And now to number 10, Grady Stokes. Stokes already with 1 goal and 1 assist on the evening.
Stokes is such a tough guy to guard because if you slide too early, he's going to make you pay with those assists.
And because he's so tough to cover, we have a flag. It's going to be number 18, Cal Hart, off to the side. And yellow, the Rattlesnakes, will go man up with a 5-1 lead.
Looks like we've got Caden Carr out there, Arcadia player, really good, tough two-way midi. Also took a lot of face-offs for them.
All right, unfortunately, we're unsure if it's a 30 or a 60, but I assume it's a 60 after the course of play there. It was probably a slash, Max, so we're going to assume a 60. This is Wolfson. He does have that powerful shot on man up from the top center, so keep an eye on him. This is Stokes. Ah, nice. He's very elusive when he comes from X there, but just missed the cage, and Rattlesnakes retain possession.
Yeah, without a set man-up offense here, they're really going to be looking for quick ball movement, but it looks like they don't get a good shot off of that. We're all even on the clear here. You know, it's going to be a 6-on-6 scenario, so everybody who's riding has somebody to guard.
Jake Trailer with a nice stick.
He did that all year long. He was one of the toughest LSMs in the league for Notre Dame Prep, and part of the reason that they excelled when most people weren't thinking they were going to have the year they were. And
Absolutely.
it's in a large part due to Trailer.
Yeah, he was an absolute wizard with that long pole.
Ground ball, vacuum. He actually took some face-offs, too, when they needed him to for Notre Dame Prep. So a nice year for the junior LSM from Notre Dame Prep. Good defense there by Bennett Matzler.
Looks like we've got a player down.
It's Rowe, unfortunately. This is what you don't want to see, Max.
Yep.
Andrew Rowe, one of the top players in the state, phenomenal athlete. He will be going to Lindenwood University, which just turned Division I in Missouri. A 3-time Under Armour All-American selection. It was invited to Maverick Showtime last year. The great thing about Rowe, one of the great things about Rowe, because there are many to like unless you're facing him on the other side of the field, of course, is that he won the Arizona Sports 98.7 Character Counts Award for his work in the community, as well as what he did on the field. And so you love seeing that, especially at this age when kids are giving back to the next generation.
Yeah, I don't know him personally, but the kids I coach, I'll speak very highly of him. Tough to watch him go down like that. Hopefully he's okay. He's such a tough guard, such a cerebral player. He's outstanding at dodging, drawing the slide, and then manipulating that slide. His redodge looks are really next level. So, tough to see him go down. This is definitely not what we want to see during an all-star game.
So just going back to Andrew Rowe's work that led him to the Character Accounts Award, he received a $10,000 scholarship for that, and was presented by the Suns and the Mercury, and a really awesome award for him. He was diagnosed with a form of juvenile arthritis just 2 years ago, and instead of letting that get him, he turned into a first-team All-State player, maybe the toughest dodge as a middie that we have in the league. And so he overcame that juvenile arthritis. And he's a junior ambassador for the Arthritis Foundation here in Arizona.
And 51 goals this season is obviously impressive, but to have 19 assists as a midfielder is equally impressive in my mind. It's usually the attackmen that are getting a lot of those assists, but to have 19 assists as a midfielder is very impressive. And we see Jake Trailer, his teammate at Notre Dame, help him off the field.
Rowe's 51 goals were the most by a midfielder, or most by a non-attackman in the league this year, which is testament to his dodging ability and athleticism. And then on top of that, was still able to have that many assists and was a key cog in what Notre Dame's offense was this year. They had Rowe and Cooper Perry and Ethan Reno and Cole Isaacson all contributing to the offensive output right here at Bemis Field for the Saints.
Yeah, and when you say Andrew Rowe led the league in midfield, or led the midfielders in goals, technically the only midfielder that had more was Connor Story. Connor Story occupies a little bit more of the Sam Hanley role, where he is a midfielder, is coming out of the box, but he's kind of their fourth attackman. He plays a little bit of defense, but mostly he's out there to see if he can find a short stick matchup, and obviously he dominated in that role. So yes, Connor Story is a midfielder, but Andrew Rowe is a little bit more of your traditional two-way midi. Here we go, getting back started up.
So as we restart, the Javelinas have the ball down 5-1 in blue. Jace White with the ball, who had a nice sophomore year for the Perry Pumas.
I was surprised to hear he was a sophomore, very mature for his age.
Another box player who's done well. Oh, there was a flag down. I missed the flag. It's going to be a 30-second technical, Max. So blue, the Javelinas will go man up, down 5-1 for 30 seconds.
Yeah, and without an offensive set to run, these guys are going to run either probably a 3-3, a 2-3-1,
or maybe an open set. But quick ball movement is key to scoring goals in situations like this. A lot of these high-level offensive players have run a 3-3, and they typically run the same. But quick ball movement, draw a man, move the ball, get the ball down into those corners and look for a skip pass. That's how you're going to be able to generate offense.
That's Swenson in the top middle. That's number 12 on the shot, Garrett Scott, a midi from Desert Vista. Kyle Kelly cleans it up once again. The junior goalie from Boulder Creek, second team All-State. Plays for Team 48 in the brand new No Excuse Arizona team this summer. So look for him out there representing the Grand Canyon State. Man down right here for yellow, and I think that we just elapsed the penalty, and I think we're now even up, Max.
KJ Davis wanted that.
Long poles always want that extra shot. That ball's going to stop, I think.
Yep.
Will Stone, number 8 from Cactus Shadows, with the ball.
Harrison Yu getting to run a little offense.
He's not going to come off. We have to drag. He's on the far side from the box.
It was a good look, just couldn't handle it. Here we go, Caden.
Oh, nice save by Diggy.
Seen some excellent goalie play so far.
Yeah, and that's what you have when you have the Diggy Balderrama's first team All-State and Kyle Kelly's second team All-State. The great thing about those two is you have a sophomore in Diggy and a junior in Kyle. So we'll be seeing them back here next year on the fields of the Arizona High School lacrosse fields.
Nice unselfish pass.
There's a goal by number 10, Ethan Reno from Notre Dame Prep. The assist from number 26, Will Elfline of Chaparral. Great play in transition. Elfline drew a few defenders, dumped it on the crease to a wide open Reno. No chance for Kyle Kelly on that one because of the great draw and dump.
Goal, Javelinas, number 10, Ethan Reno.
Cole Isaacson was a late scratch from this game, so Ethan Reno filled in his spot, and he's obviously made good on the call-up.
Transition and recognition, that's where these players will step apart because their lacrosse IQ, and when they have an opening, again, their lacrosse instincts hopefully take over and carry them to make the right play.
Nice quick rake there.
Klingman from Oro Valley with the face-off win there, giving an opportunity for a make-it-take-it for the Javelinas.
Connor Story with the ball.
And a shorty.
Ethan Reno is guarding him. This might be a little bit of a physical mismatch, as good as Harrison Yu is. Oh.
I think it's in his pads. You could hear it from here. It hit that chest protector that thankfully the U.S. Lacrosse instituted 2 years ago for the safety of the players, and certainly came in handy there. Not just to save it, but for Kyle's health. And here we go in transition.
Ooh, Rattlesnakes had number, and Jackson Boop was out there.
So the errant pass will give the ball to the Javelinas. Midway through the second quarter here, and the Rattlesnakes holding a 5-2 lead.
I don't know why, but I feel like the Javelinas should be the team wearing yellow. Maybe that's just me.
I think you're probably right, although I haven't seen a Javelina in a while, and that's an okay thing.
We had a couple Javelinas on our field in one of our very first practices this season.
Maybe that's why Nick Johnson's on the Javelinas. Nice move by Ethan Swenson there. Getting past a few defenders and then a swim dodge for the goal to make it 5-3.
And Ethan Swenson, I feel like, as much as everybody in the state knows who he is, I still feel like he's underrated. Just an outstanding athlete, great stick, good with both hands, and a lacrosse IQ about as good as anybody in the state. Wing players taking their time getting out there.
Again, some of these guys haven't played in a few weeks, so their fitness level probably isn't the same as it normally is. And Matzler Won the clamp, but who's going to get the ball? Jake Traylor. What a surprise. Traylor did that a lot this year.
Wizard on the ground balls.
99 ground balls, the most by a non-face-off player in the league this year. So we talked about him being a vacuum. He collects them on wing for face-offs. He collects them in the open field. Wherever there's a ground ball, watch out for number 7. Ball is tipped. It's going to stay with the Rattlesnakes. Grady Stokes with the ball from Perry. Talked about his wizardry with the ball. Held it through all of that. And now we look at Dylan Finder from Perry up top.
Good ball movement here.
Watch 22, Wolfson. Nice cut by Eric Wolfson. We have the luxury of seeing it from the press box and sometimes a little more traffic down on the field.
Yeah, I'm definitely not used to watching games from this vantage point.
It's kind of nice sometimes. You can see the whole thing, huh?
Well, I think air conditioning is nice, that's for sure.
We don't have air conditioning up here, fans. We're struggling just like everybody else. Ball on the ground. And a nice ground ball there by number 18, Cal Uphart from Desert Vista. '23 Noah Burdick, watch out for him. One of the top LSMs in the state. 2-time first team all LSM the first 2 years. This year, second teamer.
Here we go, KJ Davis pushing it. There's the trailer. Ooh, if that pass was there, that would have been a good opportunity.
Instead, it's going to be blue ball for the Javelinas, trailing 5-2 with 3 minutes and 49 seconds left here in the second quarter. And Connor Story will pick up the ball. Wow, nice handle there by number 5, Dylan Raird. Not sure how he kept it through all of it, but impressive that he did. This is Jace White from Perry with the ball. Finds Story on the cut.
Story takes a BTB shot. That's the right opportunity to take that. It would have increased his angle there.
Just went wide, and now Laird Miller from Brophy, number 4 with the ball.
He's a lefty.
He likes to go middle there. That's the scouting report on Laird.
Caden Carr, very good football player, good athlete. He's going to be tough to dodge on. Oh, and a little bit of a trip. Looks like the referees missed that one. That's okay.
And they did ground ball by Wolfson. Let's see how he does in transition here.
He's going to be hard to stop with a full head of steam. Oh, and it looks like the Rattlesnakes have numbers.
They do. Oh, nice extra look there. Great passing by the Rattlesnakes. Started with Wolfson, went to Brocious, to Stokes, to Busey. Sound like a baseball scorer there, or the 1980s Boston Celtics in fast break. A really nice play by the Rattlesnakes there. That's the third goal tonight for Josh Busey. We mentioned he had 5 last week in Brophy's win over Perry in the championship game. A sophomore. Plays for Mad Dog West Elite, Mad Dog National on the summer scene. He also had 5 goals against Desert Vista earlier this year. Finished with 38 goals and 9 assists in his sophomore campaign.
Jack Berman with a nice face-off win and a couple of spins. Jackson Boot, probably the tallest player on the field out there, really a Mount Everest of this defense.
He traditionally played close defense. This year played more of an LSM role for Boulder Creek, but no matter where he plays on the field, he's the anchor of that defense.
Well, he's such a good athlete, and he's so good in transition. We've got Chad Tolliver as the head coach at Boulder Creek, who played at Rutgers, and they're famous for their NASCAR fast-paced style offense. And so he definitely tried to implement that this year at Boulder Creek, and putting a guy like Boop up at LSM is definitely a good player to have in that situation.
Yeah, and he, like we said earlier, he was the Defensive Player of the Year. He's committed to go to Lindenwood, another Lindenwood. There are several of them, 3 of them on this field right now going to Lindenwood. Boop had 55 ground balls, and you talked about transition. He scored 6 goals with that long pole. Here's Elfline with the shifty move there.
We're going to have a push.
Push into the crease. It will stay Javelina's ball.
It's not a bad push, though, because that guy caught that ball right on the crease, and I'd rather push him in than let him score a goal.
Especially when there's no flag. It's even worth taking the flag sometimes, but there wasn't one. Take your chances on the 6-on-6 defense with Kyle Kelly as your goalkeeper. Laird Miller over to...
That's a pass.
Yeah, that's a pass.
Oh,
So
it's staying in, though.
minute and a half left, 1:30 left here in the second quarter. 6-3 in favor of the Rattlesnakes. KJ Davis with the ball from Desert Vista. Starting the clear. And this is Harrison Yu, the sophomore short stick D midi, the first team All-State in the short stick D midi category.
And where he really separated himself this year was in the transition game. He is one of the best athletes in the state, one of the fastest players in the state, so he is a threat when he picks up the ball.
Good thing about Harrison Yu is he's played long stick, LSM in years past, and the short stick he plays box, so it really helps him to be able to have the multiple skill set plus his speed. So we're 45 seconds left here in the second quarter. We'll see if they play for one or if they run an offensive set. Here you have a short-on-short matchup.
Just going to clear through, see if we can go downhill. There's the slide. You got to move that ball quick.
Okay, 24.8 seconds left for the Rattlesnakes.
I'm trying to find the best matchup out here and go with probably about 15 seconds left. Grady Stokes has other thoughts, though. Good find.
Noah's not going to like that. Hit him on the ankle shot.
Got about 5 left.
I don't think they're going to get a shot off here. So at the half, we have Rattlesnakes 6 and Javelinas 3 in the 2023 Arizona Lacrosse League All-Star Showcase. Once again, I want to recognize the sponsors making this happen today here for us and for you at home, in addition to their support throughout the year of the championship game and the playoffs. Express Art and Frame, located in the Biltmore Plaza at 32nd Street and Camelback Road in Phoenix. They offer high-quality art and custom framing services to residential and commercial customers valley-wide. Led by a skilled design team, they can frame anything, not just pictures and posters. Ganem Jewelers, Arizona's finest luxury jeweler for more than 30 years. Ganem Jewelers is conveniently located here in North Scottsdale and in the Ahwatukee foothills. They are authorized dealers for Breitling, IWC, and Tag Heuer watches. Stop by Ganem Jewelers today. Astarosa. Astarosa is a differentiated approach to investment management. Visit www.astarosacapital to learn more. That's ASTEROZACAPITAL.com to learn more. AV by Design, audio video by design, your premier dealer for surround sound, home theater, and home automation needs. You can watch this game live in your surround sound at home. Listen to Max and me. Call the action here of Arizona Boys Lacrosse before we take off for the next year. Please visit their website at avbydesign.com or call them at 480-242-6459. And finally, Arizona Hot Sauce Lacrosse. It's dedicated to teaching the fundamentals of lacrosse and to promoting the love and spirit of the game to young men here in Arizona so they can excel at the next level. azhotsaucelax.com for more details. We're going to take a short break here with the score 6-3 in favor of the Rattlesnakes. Josh Busey with 3 goals for the Rattlesnakes in the opening half. Thanks for joining us. Okay, welcome back here to Notre Dame Prep's Bemis Field for the second half of tonight's 2023 Arizona Lacrosse League All-Star Showcase. In the first half, we saw Josh Busey from the Rattlesnakes, a sophomore from Brophy Prep, score 3 of the 6 goals for the team. Grady Stokes, a senior from Perry High, had 1 goal and 2 assists. Additional single goals from Dylan Finder and Eric Wolfson to round out the 6 goals for the Rattlesnakes. And for the Javelinas in blue, Connor Story scored on a goal, as well as Ethan Reno and Ethan Swenson, making it 6-3 as we enter the second half. Max, what did you like about the first half?
You know, once these guys kind of settled in and are getting a little more comfortable playing with each other, we're seeing the ball move a little bit quicker. You know, we're seeing some pretty high-level face-off play and goalie play. Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, as we get deeper into this game and we'll see who's still in shape from the season, I expect to see a goal scored from hard riding. Guys that are in shape and that are working really hard are going to be able to create opportunities in that situation. You know, we've got 2 new goalies coming out here with Aiden Schuyler and Aiden Ray. So we'll see if that goalie play stays at a high level.
So in goal in yellow, number 23, Aiden Schuyler, a junior from Perry High, hoping the Pumas to the championship game. And then in blue, number 1, Aiden Ray, a junior, class of 2024, plays for Pinnacle High. Really took a huge step forward in his play this year to earn honorable mention All-State. A big reason why Pinnacle took that step from going below 500 to this year a 9-6 record, 7-5 in the regular season.
Yeah, all 3 of the All-State goalies received first team votes. You know, so there really wasn't a clear-cut guy. It could have gone in any order. You know, obviously people would have been disappointed no matter what. But you know, we definitely have some high-level goalies in the state. Oh, here we see a hidden ball trick.
It appeared finally with a shot wide of the goal, and it will be the Rattlesnakes ball from X here. Number 2, Bowden Crane with the ball. And they'll work it back to the top here. Number 22, Eric Wolfson with the ball from Brophy Prep. This is Dylan Finder from Perry. We'll announce them once as they go around. Bowden Crane from the Hills. This is what he did all year, is dodge from X. Going around that right side and curling through. You see right there, folks, how he scored 58 goals this year. And a nice save by Aiden Ray on that one.
Aiden taking his time. Got to be looking for the box. Finds his safety blanket, Nick Johnson.
And don't think it's going to get over midfield in time either way. Seems like an awful long time, but they got the clear. It was the Swenson from Brophy in transition. Jace White from Perry with the shot. Saw a lot of those shots for Perry this year. En route to scoring 49 goals for the Pumas. That one just missed. And the Javelinas will take control here.
Yeah, Connor Story with a short stick.
His eyes are salivating, but nice job in making him go down the alley, not giving him top side. Shot goes wide, and it will stay with the Javelinas. Will Elfline guarded by Jake Traylor. Not Jake Traylor. Guarded by Nicholas Hebert there. And Elfline curled around the cage, but his lefty shot went wide. This is Jace White, guarded by KJ Davis from Desert Vista.
Excellent lift.
It was a great defensive play. Unfortunately, they couldn't scoop up the ball, and Javelinas retain it. And here is Story. You can tell here how much he likes to go topside lefty.
Not a bad look, but a little too much pressure there.
Schuyler with the outlet pass. And this is Jake Traylor. Finder.
loses control, and it's going to be tough against this caliber of competition. Nick Johnson with the scoop and transition. This is elf line from Chaparral over to Jace White.
It was a good find. Oh.
Did you teach Nick that long pole behind the back shot?
You know,
Pinnacle?
I did not, but that is not the first time he's taken that shot this year.
What do you think of that shot?
You know, it's not my favorite look, but Nick Johnson has earned the right to carry the ball down the field, and you know, I usually am looking to call timeouts when my long poles get into a little pressure, and he has earned the right to make a play.
Well, Nick Johnson does have proficiency with the stick work. He is also a box player, played for the U.S. box national team in that role. Here you go, Laird Miller, number 4 from Brophy. Carries it down the alley, shifts over to his right hand, and punches it past for a goal, giving the 4th score of the game for the Javelinas.
Yeah, and the Rattlesnakes having a little difficulty clearing the ball there. As good as they have been on defense, when you fail to clear the ball and it comes back to you and you're tired, you know, you're just a step too slow, and you know, it opens you up to things that you wouldn't necessarily give up if you were at 100%.
So we're at 6-4 here for the Rattlesnakes.
Ground ball action, a little cattywampus. Oh, we finally got a pick up there.
Scoop by Matt Gilbert from the Hills. So Berman with another face-off win. Elfline,
excellent
nice pass to Levi Shoemaker, and just got caught from behind by Harrison Yu enough to affect the shot.
Yeah, Levi Shoemaker, you know, an all-state short stick D-midi, but he also took the majority of the face-offs for Desert Vista. It looks like he's trying to play a little offense, too.
You had Boop on Story there for a moment, and Boop will win that matchup against 2 of the top players in the state. In fact, the offensive player of the year in the state and the defensive player of the year of the state. Here's Harrison Yu from Brophy, a sophomore.
Going for that overhead check. Coaches always love to see that.
They love to see it when it works.
Right? Or not?
Never.
Not even when it works.
I don't ever want my players to do that, but I'm not his coach, so.
Nice save by Aiden Ray off the shot there.
We're going to look for some transition here. They've got numbers.
And the shot there, they'll give it to the Javelinas on the run out. Nice hustle by Aiden Schuyler, the goalie, trying to
get one back, but to no avail.
Laird Miller,
Javelinas,
shot by Schuyler.
Javelinas pushing a little earlier. They didn't have all 6 guys out there.
Had a transition opportunity there, but picked back up by the Javelinas. Ethan Swenson on a short-on-short matchup. Nice save by Schuyler. Picked up by White.
And I know they're not scoring goals, but the fact that the Rattlesnakes cannot clear the ball, Javelinas are gonna they're gonna see some dividends from this.
Third quarter, the field has been weighted to our left in the Javelinas' favor. They only scored 1 goal there on the transition off the failed clear, but they've definitely had the better of the play thus far in the third quarter. Here they ran into a double. Nice double team by the defense there, the Rattlesnakes.
It's a risky pass.
Yeah, and Elfline picked it up.
You really don't ever want to throw that ball back into the middle there.
So a little bit of sloppiness here in this stretch of the third quarter. And
number 12, Garrett Scott with the ball.
Garrett, a class of 2024 from Desert Vista there, double teamed. Nice play there. Patrick Fisher with the ball in transition. And here is Busey with 3 goals in the first half.
I don't expect him to. I don't expect him to push that early. I mean, he's keeping the defense honest, but
Rattlesnakes need a long offensive possession here. They've been playing a lot of defense so far this quarter.
Here's a Brophy on Brophy short stick matchup with Wolfson and Swenson. Busey.
Well played defense on the two-man game. Good angles.
Did that go in?
We see a beautiful,
wow.
beautiful behind-the-back pass, or shot by Clancy Brocious.
Yes. A sneaky shot there with the ball coming through from Busey, trying to find him on the crease. At first it looked like it was going to be stopped, but a scoop for the ground ball and a BTB shot all in one for Clancy Brocious, a 2024 player from Boulder Creek. He had 24 goals and 18 assists during the season.
Defense was playing pretty well there. Had a nice slide there, and we see a nice pinch and pop forward.
Second such goal in a similar fashion for the Rattlesnakes. Earlier you had Grady Stokes picking one up on the crease and stuffing it in, and there Clancy Brocious doing the same.
Oh, and we have an excellent almost a crease dive, but upfield, doesn't want to go to his left hand, so he makes that nice backhanded finish.
So we have an 8-4 lead here. That was Bowden Crane. We talked about Bowden earlier. I'm sorry, Max, go ahead.
Oh, this is what you expect to see out of an all-star game, right? Really good players making really great plays. It wasn't bad defense. It was just better offense. Like I said, Bowden Crane does not like that left hand. He will keep it in the right, and he'll go for that wraparound shot. He's very effective with his right hand.
Well, interesting fact about Bowden Crane, he's not a true attackman. In the past, he's always played short stick D-midi, and that's where he made his craft. This year, Coach Mike Story down in Tucson needed some offensive help to supplement Connor Story, so he decided to put Bowden Crane there. And we saw the dividends it paid. 58 goals, 22 assists, 80 points for Crane in addition to Story. And it helped the Hills to 11-2 regular season. Their only losses in the regular season were to Perry and Brophy, who were the top two seeds. So Crane moving to attack really paid off.
I think what's most impressive about Bowden's numbers this year were 58 goals on 98 shots, so shooting well over 50%, which is very, very difficult to do. Good shooters typically shoot, in the 35 to 40% range. So for him to be over 50 is amazing.
A lot of that came from the types of shots he takes, right? He had that nice inside curl and inside roll that keeps him close to the goal and gives those high percentage shots.
Oh, he's crafty, he's tough, he goes to the cage knowing he's going to get hit, and he doesn't slow down.
Jackson Boop guarding Laird Miller right now with the ball behind the cage. And a nice
great
perseverance move by Laird Miller there, his second goal in this quarter. What did he do well there, Max?
Well, it's just like what we were talking about with Bowden on the other side. He went hard to the inside, had a good idea that he was probably going to get hit, and he didn't slow down. Sorry about that. Just trying not to speak over our fantastic PA announcer here.
If you haven't gone to a game at Pinnacle, make sure you do next year. Is he back next year?
He is back next year, and he is the best in the business in this state.
He will keep you entertained in addition to the action on the field. This is Caden Carr from Arcadia right now with the ground ball off the face-off. The Rattlesnakes holding an 8-5 lead here with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Caleb Casey, first time we've mentioned his name, a sophomore from Notre Dame Prep, predominantly played face-off for the Saints this year. He's also a gritty, tough, short stick D-midi when he plays on that side, but Notre Dame Prep's used him more offensively over the last few years at attack in other spots just to show his athleticism. Here's Busey.
Clear throughs, a triple clear through here. You got to move the ball quick.
And they did.
Bowden Crane with a magnanimous assist.
Clancy Brocious, his second goal in the last 3 minutes. But I think Brocious made a nice finish, but he was the beneficiary of a beautiful pass from Bowden Crane.
Yeah. Oh, a fantastic pass. You know, when you dodge, draw, slide, and keep your eyes up, you're going to find assists. You're going to find guys cutting. I feel like in an all-star game like this, where these defenses aren't super comfortable with each other, if you can draw a slide and move the ball, something good is going to happen if you can move it quickly.
Jack Berman from Chaparral wins the faceoff there, but a beautiful recovery by Caleb Casey. And the Javelinas have possession here. Levi Shoemaker, a sophomore from Desert Vista. We mentioned a short stick D midi and also a faceoff specialist in his own right. Comes up with the ball.
Good possession. A lot of pressure there from Jake Steinberg.
And score 9-5, Rattlesnakes. Just under 2 minutes left here in the third quarter. Laird Miller on the dodge here. Already with 2 goals this quarter.
Oh, Laird Miller with a righty shot. Pretty good rollback. Probably looking to shoot that low and away. A lot of lefties on this blue squad.
Always can use lefties, right? Correct, I mean?
Oh, absolutely.
Harrison, you with the ground ball here for the yellow team from Brophy Prep, a sophomore in transition over to Brocious. You got 2 guys up top. That's one of them, just wide for Caleb Casey, but a nice look by Clancy Brocious, who just received a nice look a moment ago for his second goal of the quarter.
Yeah, and if the Rattlesnakes had a lefty attackman in that spot, they're probably looking, Harrison Hughes probably looking for a pass down, pick down in that spot. But Brocious electing to take the ball down to X. Good slide release recovery from the defense.
Josh Busey with the ball behind the goal. He already has 3 scores today. And a hockey assist on that last one.
Pretty good take to his left hand.
Nice stop by Aiden Ray. Bennett Matzler with the ball, number 6, the first team, 2-time first team All-State faceoff man. Wolfson with a high-to-high shot by Ray, scooped it up and outlet to his Pinnacle teammate Nick Johnson. I wasn't looking at the clock.
That was close. It was almost there.
And I'm not sure
Nick
the
Johnson
blue team
says,
was
I
either.
almost got you.
At the end of 3, score is Javelinas 5 and Rattlesnakes 9. With 1 quarter left to play here in the Arizona Lacrosse League All-Star Showcase. So a little bit of a creep back there for the Javelinas, but then some late play by the Rattlesnakes ensured their lead. And that 2 goals there by Clancy Brocious, a 2024 attack from Boulder Creek, plays for Team 48. Honorable mention All-State attackman. His first year at Boulder Creek this year. He really helped out that attack, which suffered some graduation last year. They lost Ethan Tanucci and Logan Shapinski and others who were stalwarts there at Boulder Creek. And Clancy Brocious and Cody Clark came in to help power that offense.
You know, a lot of those guys on the state championship team from 2021. So, you know, those guys, that veteran presence, you know, really makes a difference. Having guys that have been there, it's not just the way that they play on the field, it's the way they conduct themselves, you know, in practices and in the off season, and they, you know, championship teams know how to push each other.
We mentioned Tanucci. Tanucci's a freshman at Bellarmine in Louisville, Kentucky, Division I member of the ASUN Conference. ASUN has Utah as their champion, playing at Notre Dame tomorrow. That's going to be a fun game to watch for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which one are you looking most forward to of the first round games here at the NCAA Championships?
You know, I think that there's a lot of interesting games, but I think Virginia-Richmond, the in-state rivals, should be a pretty fun one. I've got Virginia going pretty far, but you know, I'm hoping little brother can give up a good fight.
The one I have my eye on is defending champion Maryland Terrapins. Had a phenomenal year last year. Got off to a strong start, then had some struggles, and that Army team is going to be dangerous, even though it's down in College Park. I could see Army coming away and going back to West Point with a victory over the Terps.
Army being very strong towards the end of the season. You know, I think there's certainly a lot of games. I think Michigan surprised a lot of teams winning their conference, and you know, I know Cornell is probably looking over their shoulder a little bit. Duke, obviously being the number 1 seed, it's got to feel pretty good. But Delaware with a 25-10 win in the first round, you know that Delaware offense can score. But yeah, I mean, I think Georgetown-Yale is another big game to watch. Yale having a strong end of the season as well.
That's going to be, as they call, greasy one down there in the nation's capital. Here we go. Drew Klingman and Bennett Matzler at the face-off X. A lot of battles between those two seniors. Klingman will be playing at Concordia in Irvine, which next year will graduate from MCLA to Division II for the first time. So Klingman will join forces out there. And as we talked about Matzler earlier, going to North Greenville in Division II, they may, you never know, see each other on the collegiate level.
Oh, an outstanding pass there.
Now here's Boop.
Unselfish. Clancy going to X. Oh, here we go.
Feeding his big fella back. Couldn't come up with the ball. He gave the shot anyway, and here's Klingman.
We've got numbers.
You know he's going to take a shot, give a face-off guy a chance, and he's going to do it in an all-star game. But as you said, a nice save by Aiden Schuyler.
Boop's looking a little tired out there, going coast to coast, and then coming back and playing a little defense. Not that I'd want to dodge on him either way.
Ethan Swenson with the lefty shot goes just wide. And the Javelinas will retain possession. This is Ethan Reno with the ball. And just stepping onto the field is Laird Miller. He'll initiate the offense from the top. Running start and a lefty shot to the far corner. Third goal of the second half for Laird Miller, a junior from Brophy Prep. 41 goals this year for Laird Miller. He can shoot from multiple different angles, as we've seen here tonight. He does love that left hand. And the good thing about Laird is he works really hard on his game all year round, and it shows on the field.
Absolutely, going hog wild in the second half.
When you were playing Brophy this year and you had to guard Laird Miller, what were you telling your defensive folks on the scouting report?
Well, when we were playing Brophy this year, I was really kind of telling them to clear the ball, because I think we cleared in that game at about 25%. So the scouting report didn't matter so much because their ride was so good against us, and we just weren't able to possess the ball.
And possess the ball once again is the Javelinas here. Potential make-it-take-it situation. Trailing 9-6 after Laird Miller's third goal of the game. They're on a running dodge down the alley with a lefty shot to the far post.
Yeah, and Laird Miller being a lefty, you know, I mean, obviously he's such a high lacrosse IQ, but, you know, you want to play the scouting report as best you can, but, you know, when a guy gets a step on his guy, you want to slide. You don't want to go too early, but, no, Laird Miller definitely one of the, you know, premier players in this state. Good defense there.
Good defense there by Todd Baldiga. His second cause turnover of the day, and off go the Rattlesnakes. Harrison Yu once again.
Doing a little too much.
Yeah, we're getting that time of the game, fourth quarter of an all-star game, and we're into having some fun here. Some of the guys may be playing some different positions.
KJ Davis, this is a good spot for him. Oh, can't pick up the ground ball. Oh.
Swenson loses the can opener there. Nice play by number 17, Jake Steinberg, a defender from the Hills.
Stick going right into the blender.
And here is Harrison Yu once again.
He wants it.
He sure does. And he got the shot, but Aiden Ray coming up big on the doorstep there. Number of good saves for Aiden Ray here in the second half tonight to keep it at 9-6 margin.
Showing why he received some of those first-team votes.
We haven't called Stokes' name in a while, but there he is with a nice feed. I think it was deflected on the way in.
Javelinas have a little extra gas. It looks like Jackson Boop is out there with a short stick.
That is number 21, Warren Smith, a senior defenseman from Cactus Shadows. He scored once in the regular season and once more here tonight.
I think that's the first long pole goal of the night. I expected to see more of that, actually.
Not for a lack of trying.
No, that's true.
But definitely Warren Smith. Probably not the person you had on your long pole goal prediction pick.
No. But, hey, I mean, he's in this game for a reason.
8:48 remaining in the game. We are down to a 2-goal margin. The closest it's been since it was 3-1 in the first quarter, Max. So we're not done yet. You said a little extra pep in your step, and we've seen it here. 3 of the last 4 goals by the Javelinas.
Oh, these are all competitive guys. You know, nobody wants to lose.
And once again, faceoffs in the second half have belonged to the Javelinas. Here's Laird Miller once again. Oh, he got a step. Oh,
wow, and an excellent finish.
Excellent bounce shot finish over the shoulder of Aiden Ray.
I didn't see any flags out there, but it looked like a push with possession, but that would have been waved off after the goal anyway. So excellent dodge. I mean, Laird is a tough kid. You know, again, dodges, knowing he's going to take some contact and finishes.
We haven't seen too many bounce shots tonight, but we did see one there. I don't know if that was a function of him falling to the ground to bounce it, but it was effective. Got the goalie down thinking he was going to shoot low, and it bounced back up. But a beautiful second consecutive lefty dodge down the alley for Laird Miller.
Yeah, a bit of a submariner with him falling down.
Another face-off win for the Javelinas. Unfortunately, that one may go back the other way. Yes, dug out by Tabaldiga.
And with Connor Rassis and Charlie McGinnis being on that Brophy defense with him, I feel like he gets overshadowed a little bit. But Tabaldiga is an outstanding player, aggressive on takeaway checks. There we've got Nick Johnson going for an overhead check that I definitely didn't teach him.
And on the turnover there, picked up by number 4, Patrick Fisher, who feeds Stokes. And Stokes stops the bleeding for the Rattlesnakes to give them back a 2-goal buffer here. Stokes' second goal of the night, along with 2 assists. Again, that's 3 that I can think of off the top of my head, goals for the Rattlesnakes that have been ground balls. You want to call them garbage goals, you want to call them hustle goals, but 3 times tonight. And they're up by 2, so it's obviously making a difference.
Yeah, I mean, when I say garbage goals, I hope nobody takes that the wrong way. I mean, Dennis Rodman was the guy that got all of his garbage points and all the rebounds, and how many championships did he win, right? You need guys being able to pick up those plays, and it's not luck. That comes from guys, being diligent on playing wall ball and having a great stick. We got a little contact in the crease there. I don't know if that's going to count.
No goal. Austin Reed waving that one off, one of our fine young officials in the ALL. And transition here, Caleb Casey for the Rattlesnakes.
Jacob Trailer.
He wants it.
He wants it.
Great decision
Harrison
on the pass. Oh, nice stick by Trailer. We've talked about him all night long, and that's the type of plays that he's made all year long. Now Trailer is going to come off after getting that possession back for the Rattlesnakes.
Harrison Yu elects to come off the field as well.
He's probably tired.
Well, he wants a goal. There's no doubt about that.
Bowden Crane on that wing, which he lives there.
This is a fun matchup to watch because we had Nick Johnson guarding Connor Story when we played Hills, and so Nick Johnson hasn't had an opportunity to guard Bowden. I think both of them are probably itching for that matchup, first team All-State against first team All-State.
Here you go. That's Noah Burdick with a short stick in his hand right now, number 23 in blue, guarding Crane on the ball right now. Denying topside, making him use that left. Nifty attempted a pass. A little bit low. Busey with the ground ball here.
I believe that was Andrew Rowe. Looks like he's leaving the field, and parents and fans here giving him a nice round of applause. Heck of a player. Unfortunate to see him get injured.
So the Rattlesnakes holding a 10-8 lead here with 5 minutes remaining in the final quarter.
Good slide, good off-ball defense. These are your opportunities that you're looking for. Good ball movement.
That was a pass, and so it will be the Javelinas ball down 2. Going opposite end of the field. Looks like we're going to have a little bit of a ride here by the Rattlesnakes. Sometimes in these games you don't see a challenging ride. Laird Miller, 4 goals here in the second half with the ball. Being guarded by his Brophy teammate, number 22, Eric Wolfson, who is now sporting a long pole, which we do not see in the regular season.
He is not very fundamental with that thing. Let's see how this goes.
But he would love nothing more than to stop Laird Miller, his teammate, longtime teammate.
Nice save by Schuyler. Connor Story's going to go. Ooh, and a nice behind-the-back shot. I don't love that angle, but, you know, he has all the tools in his belt, so how are you going to tell him no?
He was the leading goal scorer in the state with 58 goals. And it was that way for a reason. He does have a nice portfolio of shots that helps him find the back of the net. Miller and Wolfson going a little tete-a-tete there, and it went wide on the shot.
Refs are letting him go a little bit.
As they
Like
should.
to see in an all-star game. Looks like these two guys want to go. I think everybody else is probably going to clear out here. And
I think a shot's coming on this right now. Instead, it was a check by Wolfson.
They're going to call that a shot, so it looks like Javelinas are going to get the ball back.
Okay. Well, it is now the Rattlesnakes ball. On the clear here is KJ Davis from Desert Vista.
This is a spot KJ Davis is pretty comfortable in.
He took the shot.
KJ runs that spot in the Desert Vista clear, so he likes to get that ball and go over the midfield line. There's no doubt about that.
Gave the ball to Aiden Ray, the goalie, on the run out there, so it's Javelina's ball and clear up the field, but did not go successfully, so it will be Javelina's ball.
Cal Ophart goading KJ Davis to take it over. Oh, a little bit of a wild check there.
And they'll call it.
Hearing players yelling to hold it, but we've only got about 3 minutes left.
Jackson Boop.
Oh, playing a little offense.
Oh, look at that. Little face dodge with the short pole by the ALL Defensive Player of the Year.
And he is an athlete, and he is an excellent lacrosse player first, and then he is a LSM and defenseman second.
So Jackson Boop with 2:49 left gives the Rattlesnakes an 11-8 lead. And once again, Boop is headed toward Lindenwood in Missouri, along with Andrew Rowe and Noah Burdick. So a nice little Arizona triumvirate headed over there as they make the transition to Division I. So a lot of Arizona lacrosse fans will be rooting for Lindenwood over the next 4 years.
And I played Lindenwood twice when I was at University of Arizona, back when they were an MCLA program, and we've watched them go from MCLA to Division II, now up to D1. So I'm definitely going to be rooting for those guys. It's good to see that that happen.
Arizona's had a lot of guys who played Division I over the last few years. As we look at last year's senior class, Cole Rassis from Brophy was the player of the year, is now at Air Force. Ethan Tanucci, we mentioned him at Bellarmine. Canyon Steverson was a Desert Vista midi, athletic midi, playing for Hampton right now. So the pipeline is there for Arizona players to play at the highest level in NCAA lacrosse, and will continue that way as they get reps in games like this.
We're seeing some guys play out of position a little bit. I see Jake Trailer with a short stick there, unable to corral the ball. When we go for the behind the back move there, that doesn't work. It's an all-star game. Let these guys have a little fun.
Yep, Harrison Yu, first team All-State short stick D midi on the drive there. Kyle Kelly, the goalie,
Kyle
right
Kelly
there, has a short stick on the attack. Bennett Matzler.
Oh. You see a nice between the legs Josh Burns style.
So Bennett Matzler gives the Rattlesnakes a 3-goal advantage, 3 straight goals for the Rattlesnakes after Laird Miller's 4th goal of the game cut the lead to 10-8. Excuse me, cut it to 9-8 with 8 minutes left to go in the game, and since then it's been the Rattlesnakes taking over. And here we have Jack Berman from Chaparral against Jake Trailer with a short pole from Notre Dame Prep at the faceoff dot.
We've got Kyle Kelly out there playing a little attack.
Well, Chad Tolliver is on the sideline coaching the Rattlesnakes team tonight, so giving his goalie, who are in second-team status through the year, and played a nice first half in net.
Kyle
frankly.
Kelly is not only a great lacrosse player, but a great kid, a kid that I know pretty well. And, Chad and everybody that knows Kyle thinks so highly of him. And, we're all excited to see what the future holds for him.
Got great size in the cage, but also quick hands.
Quick hands, very quick hands.
And someone who's that big, sometimes it's tough for them to get down low, but Kyle's pretty darn solid on bounce shots.
And I think one of the things that's most impressive about him is how quickly he gets the ball out of his stick after he makes a save. And I do not think he's wearing elbow pads, so hopefully we don't see anything too rough out here.
Todd Baldiga, another long pole, taking a shot there for the Rattlesnakes.
Grady Stokes playing a little long pole out there, getting a penalty.
And naturally, like any top player does, says, I didn't do it.
And he puts his hands up. He has no idea what he did.
Let me ask you a question. If he were the attackman on that play like he normally is, and that would have happened against him, would he still think that wasn't a penalty?
Grady is a high IQ player, so in his head he's probably thinking, yeah, that's a penalty. But I don't think Grady is the kind of player that would probably call for it.
Connor Story with the ball.
Oh, and here might
Laird
see
with a long pole. Laird Miller
on man up, and Nick Johnson out there with a short stick, I believe.
They probably traded sticks.
Yeah.
Busey with a short pole. Wolfson with a long pole. You know he's going to shoot it.
And boy, I am confused. I am having a hard time figuring out who is who right now.
At this point, as long as we finish the game with fun and no more injuries, it will be a success. Here's Kyle Kelly, the goalie from Boulder Creek.
To the inside.
Oh!
And Kyle Kelly finishes. I say let the clock run out.
Let's finish on that one.
Call it on that one.
17.4 seconds left, and Kyle Kelly with the goal for the Rattlesnakes.
Well, Kyle Kelly's about to get a nice celebration there.
Rattlesnakes number 15.
Schuyler coming all the way down the field to get a nice celebration with his fellow goalie. Love to see that.
17.4 seconds left in the game. 13-8 is the score here.
Oh, and we see Noah Burdick go for a nice butt end check there, keeping that ball dirty.
Diggy, the other goalie, at the buzzer with .1 left.
Count it.
Diggy Balderrama scores a goal to make it 13-9. He is a sophomore from Desert Vista, was first-team All-State goalie. A big reason why Desert Vista made the state championship a year ago in his freshman year. And so we finished the game in an all-star game with all the offensive firepower that we have with goals by 2 goalies. How about that?
I mean, he's the young whippersnapper out here, and it's fun to see these guys get an opportunity to show what they can do on the field as well as in the cage.
What a fun night here for the 2023 Arizona Lacrosse League All-Star Game. We finished with a 13-9 game in favor of the Rattlesnakes. They were led by Josh Busey with 3 first-half goals. Grady Stokes had 2 goals and 2 assists. Clancy Brocious, 2 goals both in the third quarter, and then a slew of players with 1 goal each for the Rattlesnakes. Leading the way for the Javelinas, we mentioned Laird Miller with 4 goals on the day. He was the only multiple goal scorer for the Javelinas. In goal, we had Kyle Kelly doing a nice job to start off for the Rattlesnakes. Pick up the win there. It was 5-1 after 1 quarter, 6-3 at halftime when Kelly exited. And coming in was Aiden Schuyler, had a nice second half. And on the other side, Aiden Ray, a junior from Pinnacle, made a nice set of stops for the Javelinas in the second half after taking over for Diggy Balderrama, who also had several point-blank saves, including one to the helmet.
And I believe we're going to be doing some award ceremonies here. I think we have our All-American Awards coming up, as well as Coach of the Year. And if I'm missing any, I believe there's another award or two that I'm forgetting the name of. But
we do have the Offensive Player of the Game and Defensive Player of the Game awards that will be part of the ceremonies. Hopefully you can stick around for them, because we're told we can't let you know who that Offensive and Defensive Player of the Game is quite yet.
Very hush-hush on those.
Super secretive here at the Arizona Lacrosse League. Right now we're going to do our year-long ceremonies for the USA Lacrosse Awards. We've obviously found out about the league awards. Now we're going to talk about folks who are being recognized on the national level. We talked about the impact that Arizona high school lacrosse players are making at Division I colleges and others. I shouldn't just say that. Bowden Davidson, who last year played for Chaparral, is a 2-sport athlete at Grove City in Pennsylvania. They are in the Division III lacrosse playoffs. He's getting some time as a freshman and also played for their football team. Had he dedicated just to lacrosse, he was fielding Division I conversations and possibilities, but decided to play 2 sports. He's excelling at Division III, and there are several others as well. Last year's first-team goalie, Archer Kelly from Arcadia, is down in Tucson playing for the Wildcats. But a lot of opportunity at the college level and the national level here for Arizona players, and we need to continue to support them as they move on in their careers and make it easier for the next generation of Arizona players to go and play. Patty Frazier plays for Manhattan as a face-off man. Brady Wygants at St. Bonaventure. Some guys who are coming to mind. So right now we're going to start with the USA Lacrosse All-American Awards. All-American player, there are 2 nominations from Arizona, a player who exhibits superior skills and exceptional game sense and knowledge. It's one of the highest honors that players can receive. And so we have 2 players. The first one is presented by Mike Story, who's the head coach at Foothills High School down in the Tucson area. And his son, Connor Story, who we mentioned a lot tonight, leading goal scorer in the state of Arizona, plays for Big 4-H, which is a big club on the East Coast in the summertime. He had a fantastic season. He was named Arizona Lacrosse League Offensive Player of the Year, and now a 2023 USA
NSPNA Lacrosse All-American. Congratulations to Connor Story.
Congratulations, Connor, on being named a 2023 USA Lacrosse All-American.
And we will see Connor at the next level eventually. The last I had heard, he was thinking about taking a year off and allowing that knee to fully heal. But he is in discussions with a few Division I schools.
The second USA Lacrosse All-American is, not surprisingly, the ALL Defensive Player of the Year. Jackson Boop, senior long stick midfielder and close defender. From Boulder Creek, he's out there with Chad Tolliver being presented his award. We talked about Jackson being a player at Lindenwood next year in the A-Sun. And congratulations to Jackson as well. Number 38 for Boulder Creek, number 25 tonight on his USA Lacrosse All-American honor. Next up, we're announcing our academic All-American honors. This goes to a player who exhibits exemplary lacrosse skills, good sportsmanship on the field, and the high standards of academic achievement in the classroom, which is what we're all about when we call them student athletes. So the first USA Lacrosse Academic All-American is Maximus Mathy from the West Valley Wild team. He attends Sandra Day O'Connor High School. And he's going to be presented his award by Jake Simon, who's an assistant coach out at West Valley. That program is building out west as we look to try and grow the sport here all across Arizona. So congratulations to Max Mathy. The second USA Lacrosse All-American, we saw him play just now in the game. In fact, in that second half. He is Aiden Schuyler, a goaltender for Perry. He is a junior, being presented his award by his head coach, Tyce Thielsen. Next up, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say Aiden played in this game and did an excellent job.
Next up is the Bob Scott Award, and if you're wondering what the Bob Scott Award is, it recognizes a high school senior who goes above and beyond in service to the team, the school, and the community. So a really well-rounded individual. And this person, Max mentioned earlier, is, in terms of well-roundedness, on the field, he's maybe the most well-rounded midi in the game. Helped Brophy College Prep to back-to-back state championships as a senior. And it goes to Ethan Swenson, who had a nice swim dodge move earlier today for a goal in this game. Congratulations, Ethan. Going into Babson College in Massachusetts next year to continue his education and lacrosse pursuits there. Next award is the Coach of the Year for the 2023 ALL season. Someone who exemplifies the ideals of the game and recognize the individual's overall coaching performance and contributions. So it's not just about wins and losses, but overall contributions. And we mentioned this person earlier, played at Rutgers, head coach at Boulder Creek. They graduated a lot, and yet they were still a factor come the end of the year. They even beat Foothills in the quarterfinals to earn a semifinals spot. We at Chaparral played Boulder Creek twice in the last week of the season, and we can attest to their growth throughout the season. So Chad Tolliver is the USA Lacrosse Coach of the Year. Now, Max, we're going to talk about the offensive player of the game and defensive player of the game from tonight's game. First, the offensive player of the game. We just mentioned him having 2 goals and 2 assists from Perry High School. It's Grady Stokes.
Yeah, and him, he had a well-rounded game with 2 goals and 2 assists, and, that just echoes what he did over the course of the season with, leading the league in both points and assists.
His second goal, it was 9-8. They had cut it to 9-8. His second goal was number 10, and they scored 4 straight goals. And the defensive player of the year, goalie from Boulder Creek, played in the first half for the Rattlesnakes. And Kyle Kelly from Boulder Creek, I guess we have to mention he did have an offensive goal there at the end too. But his defensive player of the game award is for his number of saves that he did, again, leading the Rattlesnakes to a 5-1 first quarter lead and a 6-3 halftime lead. So Kyle Kelly, a well-earned defensive player of the game award.
No doubt about it. Kyle's an animal.
So once again, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you for joining us, especially those of you who are still with us. And we'd just like to give one last shout-out to our sponsors, Express Art and Frame, Biltmore Plaza, Ganem Jewelers in North Scottsdale and Ahwatukee Foothills, Astor Rose at Capitol, AV by Design, and Arizona hot sauce. So thank you, everybody, for all your support. If you're watching, that means you have a vested interest in the growth of the sport of lacrosse here in Arizona, especially at the high school level. So thank you very much, and enjoy your summer. We'll see you soon. Hit the wall, everybody.